Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 675. Today we'll be doing battle with Vanessa. And so, what an exciting day. The floodgates of players should be rolling in. The closed beta coming to an end. The open beta here starting in a matter of hours with the release of the next patch. And so, a couple of maintenance notes before we kick off this draft and really get up and running. If you are still wanting to get in on the Founders Pack for the closed beta, I believe that you have a few hours to do so. You got to get in there quick if you want to get those bonus skins or whatnot. As I believe once the open beta starts, those things will be gone. And so you got to hit it quick. If you watch our video as soon as it's released, you might still have a chance. If not, you might be a little bit too late. Other than that, as far as this channel goes, I played Legends of Runeterra from when it was in beta until it got shut down, right? That's the commitment right there, right? I really started doing YouTube with the release of the beta in Legends of Runeterra, intended to play it forever. Riot unfortunately shut it down when it wasn't monetarily feasible to keep it up and running, and we've been kind of searching around for something to do ever since. I'm pretty certain that something to do is just going to be the Bazaar. I really enjoy the Bazaar. I love the play patterns. I love the nature of the game with the drafting and the combats and everything. I think this is something that's just super fantastic. Plan to be here indefinitely. And so, if you're looking for a home, if you like to get your gameplay strategies from an old man with a weird accent, then you're welcome to stay. We'll teach you how to draft, how to make deviled eggs. A wonderful collection of strategies you get here on the Battles with Buzz channel. We'd be glad to have you if that's the kind of thing you're looking for in your life. And so, last but not least, as we do look to kick off into the open beta, I would like to say that I feel like the beta experience with this has been exceptionally good. There at the beginning, we did have some server issues when the game was more popular than expected, but that got quashed pretty quickly. And then I really have a lot of faith in the Tempo team with how fantastically they've managed the balance changes and updating the game and taking what is kind of that raw block of marble when the closed beta started and really kind of chipping away at it and making a fantastic and wonderful sculpture here as we enter the open beta. It feels like all of the moves that they've been making in terms of reworking the smaller aspects of the game and the balance and the game flows and everything have just been wonderful. It gives you a lot of good faith in the dev team as a company at Tempo. Right. I know Reynad does everything right, but the dev team probably gets a couple of props as well. I think like 100 people work at Tempo, or over the course of the time have worked on the game, but Reynad gets all the credit for everything. Reynad did all the art, he did all the pictures, he did all the gameplay, right? It's all him. All the successes or failures on his backs. But no, the dev team has done wonderful. I think it's been fantastically done up to this point, and I imagine it's going to stay that way from here on out through the future. And so, very excited. The thing that I'll kind of point out with the open beta is, I would expect a few hiccups within the first few days. Typically, whenever you enter this open beta phase, the main thing to be doing is kind of stress testing the servers and make sure that it can handle that big influx and big load of players. And I would kind of expect that for the first week or so. But after that, I think they should be good to go. And then last but not least, the thing that I've tried to rein in and really kind of advertise with people in terms of this game is, if you like the gameplay pattern, if you like the game flow, the drafting aspect, the shopping, the skill-based way to design your deck and your board, going into the PvE battles and then syncing up to the PvP round while having that ability to just pause the game whenever you need to. If you like that gameplay, if you like that flow, but something with the game right now just doesn't resonate with you, just come back in 6 months or something, right? I feel like the core gameplay of this is so super fantastic that Tempo has done such a great job of really reining it in and making it a super high quality game that only better things are to come. And if there's some aspect of this you don't like right now that's not quite polished as much as you would like, I think that it'll definitely continue to improve on into the future and might be something you like then. If you look at something like Teamfight Tactics from the time it hit at Season 1 to when they started to really hit their stride into like Season 3 and Season 4 and then where they're at now, it's just been continual improvements across the board. And the same thing happened with Battlegrounds. Like season 1 happened, and then they waited for Teamfight Tactics to do something, and then they copied it and implemented it 2 or 3 seasons later, and then waited for Teamfight Tactics to do a little bit more, and then they stole their ideas and implemented those later. The same thing with Battlegrounds. It took them a few seasons to really hit their stride and find out what works and what doesn't as you enter this new genre of gaming. And I think that we'll continue to see the same thing here. And so if you do like that drafting pattern into the various battles and whatnot, and you'll just, some aspect of the game really irks you right now, I would suggest coming back in a little bit and seeing if that has been kind of polished up. And so with that out of the way, let's dive on in. Let's see what kind of start we got here. Either a small gold tier item and a silver skill, or a medium item, 2 bronze items, and 2 bronze tier skills. I'm leaning towards this one on the right. The thing that I've really been kind of trying to hammer home here as we round out this patch, is I feel like we're losing a lot of early game battles because I've just been too super greedy with these starts. I really like to play these games out to kind of maximum value, and the way that you would be doing that in the early game is just picking up as many skills as you can, picking up as many bronze items as you can, and then using B1, B2 to turn all of your bronze items into silvers. But I find myself very, very often at the end of like day 4 being 1 and 3, 2 and 2, and as a Vanessa player, you really need to be trying to maximize your wins in the early game because Vanessa falls off super hard in the late game. And so, like, as I look at things like this, I feel like something like the gold tier item and the silver tier skill does have a lot of more kind of late game impact, especially if you spike on that gold tier item. But I run into so many boards now that just like don't fill out all of our hexes early, that starting with something like this here on the right should hopefully just help us get on board with something that can win these rounds early. And this is a fairly decent start, right? Having Powder Flask plus Grenade should be enough to win a lot of these early battles. Improvised Bludgeons, kind of whatever, but this is a very strong late game item with a lot of the single weapon Vanessa builds. And then Peaceful Eyes, not that exciting, but Immolating Spark can be pretty good early. And so not the super strongest of starts, but this like Powder Flask Grenade is exactly what I'm looking to start with here early. Just something that lets us win the first couple of PvP rounds, and we're not just like derping around with like a blade shoe or whatever. It's like you got a blade shoe and a pufferfish and just kind of hoping that you run against somebody else trying to be as greedy as you. I like to take a little bit more action and try and get these wins if we can. And so this is a pretty good start here with the flask and the grenade. But as we move on, let's go to the Jungle Ruins, pick up the regen out of here. Don't need to pick up the small silver tier item. We're pretty stacked on board as it is. Getting that regen does beat a lot of the opponents that aren't trying particularly hard. And then I think the Kyber Drone is the strongest start here. Just spiking a Lang Zang early is so incredibly powerful in terms of making a single item build. And some of these backup items aren't terrible, right? Either the Eagle Talisman now, the Insect Wing to hold on to for a little bit later. We'll see if we spike something big. Just the Stinger, not that great. If you're not entirely familiar with what I mean there, you can hold on to that Insect Wing into the second day's PvE rounds. And then if you get the Wasp has silver insect wings, and so you can't win those. It gives you like a 1 in 3 chance of getting that haste your weapon early skill, and so it's a nice hold into the next day. Didn't turn up here though. But with this stuff, not a super strong day. We can just take the tiny furry monster, I guess. Seems a little bit better than going for gold, just getting the silver tier loot item. It's 1 money less, but does give us potentially a very relevant ability. And so it's pretty close to the gold. And now here, I'm just going to go to the Strange Mushroom. We don't really have the money to be going to too many shops. Let's just roll the dice with the neutral item. Maybe something big will turn up. Something big turned up in the Junkyard Lance. I mean, that has to be a fairly monstrous just set of damage, right? We have a pretty big collection of small items out here. It's on a 10-second cooldown, though. That's kind of sucks. Let's let's just stick with what we've got. Get the Stinger on board, get a little bit of sustain. The Bludgeon isn't a real promising attacky item here, and so really counting on the Grenade to do all the work this round. Okay. Get those attacky items out here, see what we can do. Oh man, this guy's coming at us hard. Maybe we do need to go to more of these shops early, right? As we're out here getting really powerful starts from our opponents like this. But sometimes you just come out and double crit with your grenade, and that's enough to come in and take the victory. What is a 25% chance? So you do that, 10% of the time. Works every time. Fucking feeling good. It feels like in every single game we like high roll through day 1 through 4 and feel super good, and then that just ends. we quit high rolling at that point and start to fail from there on forward. But this is kind of an interesting shop here with B1, B2. I'm really interested in going to the ammo place and trying to look for double barrels, but having that opportunity to turn both the Junkyard Lance and the Improvised Bludgeon into silver tier items seems kind of interesting. I don't know if the upgrade on Improvised Bludgeon counts to your slows, right? We really want this thing to be giving +2 slow. Let me check that out real quick. And okay, so I've got the Improvised Bludgeon pulled up. This is what I'm interested in right here, right? When you sell this item, the leftmost slow gains 1, 2, 3, 4 or slow. I typically look to build single item pretty much every single game. Excuse me, but I'm also really interested in, say, upgrading dock lines. But the thing that gets pretty interesting with this Improvised Bludgeon is Chlamera, right? If we're able to kick off the start of every single round just slowing like 3 or 4 items for 3 seconds, like excuse me, that's like a pretty huge deal. And so I think I'm pretty interested in taking this and then really going out of our way to make sure that we have Chlamera be a piece of our board. And so I think that that's fairly reasonable. Let's take a look. We'll skip past the ammo thing. We'll take the 8 gold upgrade here on B1, B2. And then let's see if that long range play pays off for us. Now with this stuff, not a super strong start. Non-weapon items we're probably not going to use. We're pretty far away from doing burn, although when you have the +6 burn, that makes lighter scale on its own. I think I will just take the 10 gold here. We've been fairly greedy early. Kind of need to go to some of these shops and get some winning stuff. And so let's hit up the shop here. We can skip the dog. We don't have, what's it called? An experience thing to make it useful anyways, so we can skip past it. I mean, we should still at least feel kind of strong with this silver grenade, right? But let's pick up the lighter, take a roll, see if any of our interesting items turn up. Not yet, but I can live with getting this silver revolver, getting the hand axe on board, just filling out with what we have. We're really looking for, say, a suppressor, looking for Chlamera. Didn't turn up, is what it is. But here's the giant mosquito. This is what I was talking about in the previous set of battles. If you land on the insect wing, you can go into the giant mosquito battle, then you can't take the insect wings off of it. Gives you a very high percentage chance to hit the haste of weapons skill. But we aren't there. We'll just come out to the rogue scrapper, pick up these extra experience points, see if we can't level up and get strong. Not on this day, but on to the next day. We're pretty far away at this point, even with the extra experience points. But some decent hits in here. Rust is always good. Junkyard Club is decent with the board we have. And then those 3 experience points always feeling pretty decent. What you got for us, Rust? I appreciate it. All right, what's up next? Ooh, the Mountain Pass. And so we just need 3 experience points. We can level up. Now, I know I talked about this in the previous video. On day 2, I'm not the hugest fan of trying to escort the convoy. I don't know what the percentage chance is to not fight a unit and just get stuck with the item, but it feels pretty high on day 2. And then if you come in and accidentally spike like a level 5 opponent, then you're just going to lose anyways. And so I typically come into this round on day 2, just take the escort the convoy, the 2 experience point bonus. And now as we do hit the PvP round, we'll get the level up before it hits. And so that feels pretty decent. Now coming out of this, I guess we can go to Quixel, right? We actually have the large item to sell to pick up a little bit of extra money, get that great Junkyard Lance value on the round. Got to appreciate that. Hitting the lighter here is fine. Does a reasonable amount of damage at this stage of the game. Don't want those other items. Now what do you feel about this stuff? I don't hate cannon, since we do have the immolating spark to potentially pop off with it. I would rather keep the powder flask on the grenade. All right, the grenade is just such a huge high-impact weapon at this point that I want that to be the one that's churning through the damage. But I could see picking up cannon and then just taking out lighter and stinger. Like, we should just be a super fast, high damage kind of build. And then, like, we shouldn't even have time for Shark Claws to activate. And so I think that'll be okay, right? We don't have time for a 9-second activation on Stinger. We don't really care about the lighter because we're pushing the flames out. Seems like that should be pretty decent to me. Now with this, let's skip on ammo. We'll take skip on the loot. We'll come and take the bronze tier ammo and say ideally we would be hitting something like double barrel, but still feels like we're looking pretty good here. All right, so let's do this. Let's take the lighter out at this point. Well, the Stinger, again, probably shouldn't activate. It's going to hit its first activation after we get 2 grenade shots. The battle should just be done at that point. All right. Up against Pig. Let's see what we can do.
Dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobodies.
What's he doing? Trying to use weapons and stuff? He's got that scary stuff. Look at that. He's got a huge start here with both rush and augmented weaponry, but I think we're still just better. he hasn't gotten the time to scale up just yet. Didn't get the level up. Sucks to suck, bro. All right, off to the races. 2-0 start. Didn't know we had it in us. Haven't done that in years. So, feels good. Now here, this is a classic site to be going to, right? If you downloaded the game, immediately took some rough hits to double barrel, and then ran to Reddit to complain about it, you see all the other complaints about double barrel. Here's the shop that you're never shopping at, right? You're never going to the eating contest and just taking chocolate bars. It's like... you know, you're out here just dying to the aggro decks, but you refuse to do anything about it. You know, it's like when I used to play StarCraft growing up, and the way that it worked on like StarCraft Brood War is you would go just into like a chat channel, and there would just be like a list of games, and it was kind of like the honor system to make sure that you were setting up the games how you would want. And so one of the things that you would say, this is a rough round, like, this guy's almost impossible to beat this early, but you would go in and say no rush 15, which basically meant that nobody was going to attack each other for 15 minutes, and then at the end of that 15 minutes, that's when you could, after you built up, you know, your big army, you could go and have a battle and stuff. And so that's what it feels like. You're supposed to say no rush 15. I don't want to buy any chocolate bars. I just want to try and assemble the most ridiculous contraption on board, and then just complain on Reddit when my contraption doesn't get the chance to pop off. All right, we're getting those wins though here. Feels good. What else do we got coming up? Now with this, as we focus in, I'd like to go to aquatic items. Gives us a chance to pick up Crow's Nest as the big thing. Not a real win on this first page, but at the end of the day, here it is. We're probably going to be trying to switch over to a Crow's Nest build, and that's what's just hit. And so let's go ahead and pick that boy up. See how we want to move on from here. I don't think we're going to be really in the space of shooting for the sustain stuff right out the gates. We're probably going to be looking to be like really bursty and just use the Crow's Nest for this crit in the early game, but we'll end up switching to a single item sustain build as the game goes on. So that looks good. Hit this upgrade. Definitely want to get our upgraded Crow's Nest. Going to give us a lot of that high-powered attacky stuff here in the early game. Love to see it. See if we can't get our opponents running to Reddit and making the complaints. Making all the complaints. So what do we want to do on this day, right? I'm not really interested in the Artisan. None of the items we have on board here are going to be a particularly late game item for us. We're not going to go Diamond Grenade as our big game finisher. And so let's just take the spare change. We don't have the money to shop for items. Now we come out and fight Pig. I think we're okay. I don't quite want to spend the feather until we get our finishing item, or at least something like double barrel. Maybe we end up on flagship, who knows, but I'm not super interested in improving the items we have on board. I think we should just be strong enough, right? Just dropping these 200 damage nuggets every 4 seconds with this this grenade should feel pretty good. All right, I don't think this guy's entirely got a real build yet. He's trying to do 3 or 4 separate things, and we're just going to drop all the crits on him. Got a bit of small item stuff, a bit of lighter stuff, a bit of yo-yo stuff, a bit of Ganjo stuff, a bit of Addle-Addle stuff. Nothing serious, just half-assing a lot of stuff. And so, fairly strong takedown. Good job, us. All right, so what's up next? What do we got here? Medium and large items. It's a bummer we went and sold off all of our chocolate bars, but we still have some spare changes to make a bit of money on this round, right? Get that extra dollars here. I'm gonna hang on to lighter for just a minute.
This is a gift at any price.
It's like if we land on flagship, we want to make sure we have a tool, and then on that 1% chance we find a weather glass build, we want the burn item. So we'll keep it. I'll just go ahead and sell the feather at this point. Get up that extra gold, but didn't really land on anything. Let's take a roll, see if anything turns up. No double barrels. Could look towards sniper rifle. I don't like silver tier sniper rifles. They don't do enough. It needs to be at least gold, but this is something strong to build towards, right? We're pretty close to having a strong build with just like the sniper rifle crow's nest being here. And so I'll go ahead and take it. It's not a super huge investment. You know, if we get a really strong double barrel or something, we can just switch with that. But I like making sure we have access to it here when we've already got the crow's nest, but no other real direction. So that looks good. Let's hit up the small items now, see if we hit a suppressor. Lands here, or silencer I should say. Also come out and look to see if the Chimera turns up. Didn't hit everything. It's still looking good. Alright, then who can we fight here? The Flame Juggler. Again, this is the guy that beat us up earlier. Just a very tough round to win until you get a reasonable health stack. I don't think he's particularly worth fighting here. We can come out and fight the Outlands Dervish. He doesn't give us a lot of like high-powered items. He does have a little bit of cooldown reduction, but he has better stuff than the Retiree. We're just using literally nothing out of the Retiree here. And so if you get the crit thing, it's kind of nice, the gold bars or whatever. Just better set of stuff than a Retiree, which is going to do literally nothing for us. Get them shoe blades. All right, so what's up next? Oh, more mountain passes? Beautiful. Never pass. Never pass on the mountain pass.
Place to store the rest of the tyrant's
All right, and
gold.
silver skills. So what are we going to do with this? I don't hate flashy mechanic. The thing that we'll probably be building towards here would be, crow's nest, a weapon, and then a captain's wheel. And then having that captain's wheel give that incidental crit can be pretty decent. And so I'm kind of interested in it. I don't hate the idea of creeping chill. If you get to kick off the round with Chimera, getting a slow and then immediately getting a freeze, it's not that bad, but I think our Chimera should hopefully just be strong enough on its own if it ever turns up. So let's do this. We do actually have a tool on board, right, in the powder flask. So I think that's fine.
I'll send you to Orland, but I'll keep you as long as I can.
How do we want to do it? Something like this? We'd prefer the ammo flask to be next to the revolver, but I've got the silencer on the revolver because it's our fastest acting weapon. I think that's okay. Now here we're getting pretty low on money. We can either take 5 regen from the tincture or take the 5 regen from the big bite. Get that extra health out of the big bite though. Give me them 40 HPs. Up against another pig. Right. Feels good, feels decent, feels strong. See what we can do.
Set out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobles.
Lord Marty, old Marty McFly out here. Man, I heard a take the other day on the history of Back to the Future, and one of the things with Back to the Future was it initially wasn't supposed to be Michael J. Fox. It was supposed to be the blonde-haired kid from the Breakfast Club. I can't remember what his name is, but like they brought him in to read for it, and it was supposed to read like a comedy. And they get down to the table read, they read the whole thing, and they get to the end, and the blonde-haired kid from the Breakfast Club was like, "This movie's fucking sad, right?" And everybody's like, "No, we're out here laughing and stuff. This is peak humor." And he's like, "No, man, this kid grows up living his entire life with his family. Then he goes back to the future, like makes all of these events change, and then he comes, back to his current time at the end of the movie, but his family is completely different. And so the first 18 years of Marty McFly's life, he's lived with this family. He goes on this adventure to the future and back, and now that he's back in the present time, his family at the current moment has no memory of the past 18 years that he's lived with his life. And it's such a sad, tragic moment that while he was able to go back in time and make a better life for his parents no longer know who he is in the current context of the Marty McFly persona. And it's like, holy shit, that's terrible. That's awful. It is one of my my peeves when time travel movies come about, is the time travel has to happen from the perspective of the person doing it. It's because exactly like that, right? If you are the protagonist of your time travel movie, you go back in time and fight the dinosaurs and come back, nobody has any context that you were the one out there fighting or everything that happened to you that led up to you being you just didn't happen in the context of everyone else in the world. And so it's like, holy shit, is it Scott Michael Hall, Ian Michael Hall, Michael Lynn, three name guy from the 80s? I don't remember. It's like, man, that's kind of that's a fucking bummer coming out here, but is what it is. They made it a comedy. Michael J. Fox came out and made the LOLs, and it's a good time now. But, whew, that's harsh and heavy. All right, what are we going to do with this? And so I typically like going to Tox Clocks. There's a lot of things we like here, right? We want any haste item, like anything that has been made turbo. We like the Captain's Wheel as a haste item. We're looking for Chimeras as a slow item. There's a lot of good stuff. The free decent chance here is B1, B2 hitting Silencer. I'm pretty certain will be a single item build. Silencer onto Sniper Rifle is just a very common thing to do. But I think I'm going to try and dig for some of these bigger things here out of Tox Clocks. We'll see if we don't just spike something as far as turbo items go. Not really interested in anything here on the first page. I get a little excited seeing Tripwire turn up, but we're not a Tripwire build, right? We're aggressive. We don't care about slowing our opponent in this context, right? We don't want just the Tripwire sitting around. We want stuff that aids our aggression, and so we'll skip past that. In this next set, fairly weak. I mean, we can take the Bolus upgrade. We can pick up the star chart to make the docks better, but didn't land on anything we were super looking for here, and now we're out of money, which is a bit of a bummer. Got to see what happens on the PvP rounds when that comes up. So with this, don't really want friends. Don't have them in real life. Don't need them in this game, right? That's the way things go. We can just go to the Lost Crate, pick up the skill. Upgrade to Flashy Mechanic, sure thing. Get some use out of that along the way. And then very powerful set of people within this one. The Preening Duelist really ties into ammo. Has things like Powder Flask, has things like the ammo loot item to put the additional ammo onto stuff. Harkuvian Rocket Trooper does a lot of stuff with crit. He does a lot of stuff with haste, very powerful. And then the Trash Town Mayor has augmented attack, that attack power thing that we called out in the early game. And I think I'm okay with just going to the well, I don't know. I'm kind of just envisioning us switching over to a Sniper Rifle build and not particularly caring as much about the width that you would get out of the Trash Town Mayor. The other thing with Trash Town Mayor is if you miss that that skill, it's pretty garbagey. And so let's just go with the Rocket Trooper at this point. And he's got a lot of stuff that can be decent with us. Flashy Reload is huge. Crit out of the Keen Eye. Crit out of the Talisman. Harkuvian Rocket Launcher. Oh, not it. Like the Rocket Boots, still good if we get Captain's Wheel on board. Then things like Shadow Cloak aren't bad here in the early stages of the game. And so it's much better than just the singular hit out of the Trash Town Mayor, I think. Pick up Rocket Boots. Okay. Not as exciting as I wanted it to be, but it's kind of is what it is. And then let's just pick up this loot item. We're running out of space at this point, but don't really want any aquatics. It's too random. We got crits. Good deal. That's a big hit. But got the Mountain Pass. We're gonna take it. Item. Boo. This game's fucking dumb. I want my EXPs. So what do we got here? Picked up a little bit more money. But, I guess at this point there are multiple weapons that I'd be okay with. Like if we hit sniper rifle for an upgrade, that would be pretty big. If we hit double barrel, that would be pretty big. Just some decent stuff across the board, I think. Nothing really on the first page here. Like grape shot might be better than revolver or something, but we're gonna push away from this wide ammo stuff pretty quickly. So I don't think I'm really interested in it. Oh, both sniper rifle and double barrel. Definitely taking sniper rifle. I don't think we want to get it on board just yet, though. We can kind of fake having a haste item in the rocket boots. It's not nearly as good as what's it called? Not nearly as good as Captain's Wheel, but could do in a pinch. I mean, I think we might just be close enough to get this going. Like there is the double barrel at bronze, that is pretty meh. And we don't have any good double barrel upgrades at this point, right? We don't have left-handed, right-handed. We don't have anything to boost its attack. I think I'm fairly okay at this point to just go all in with the sniper rifle. Because the thing that we can do with it is going to look like this, right? We can we can set up a board something like this. Where are we at? If you're not familiar with how some of this stuff works, Star chart does need to be adjacent to sniper rifle for it to work, but silencer does not. Silencer gives the weapon directly next to it 10 damage. So if star chart was a weapon, it would be giving it plus 10. But the big thing with it is if you have exactly one weapon, you reduce the cooldown. That's what we really care about, and that doesn't have to be directly next to the sniper rifle. So we can have the silencer way out here at the end, still giving that cooldown reduction to the sniper rifle. And so I think this will be okay with this kind of space. We do want to sell the talisman, put the crit onto the sniper rifle, and then we can just be off to the races from here. Leave that double barrel at home. Start doing a little bit of that one shot, one kill stuff, you know. Start bringing it out.
I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
So what do we got? A pretty heavy damage Vanessa looking here. Counting a lot on this sniper rifle to bring us back into the mix. And so have the opponent drop us down pretty low. We need the sniper rifle to hit, heal us back up, and then the opponent should be out of ammo. Now he does have the ammo flask with his double barrel, but nothing else he had was out here reloading. And so that turned out pretty good. He did have his slow landed onto the boots, and so we got a bit of a win with that. But the battle fell kind of how we wanted it to. We take a big burst, we heal it all back, and then the second burst isn't left over enough to kill us. All right, so that looks good. We can go to the docks. We got the star chart, so we can get the experience point. Very valuable there. Within this next set, probably just go to Barkham. We have a lot of stuff in our kit that we can just sell, like revolver, grenade, bolus, nesting doll. Get a bunch of extra money out of this, and then there are good medium and large items for us to potentially hit. Miss on the first page, miss on the second. That's a bummer, but let's sell these small items we're not going to use. Still hang on to the powder flask. There is a world to where we switch to using it for something, but probably very slim that's going to be a thing. Kind of need to find like haste potion or frost potion or something, but it's not at 0. Now here, I don't think we can beat the Lich. We'll just fight the Trash Golem. Pretty certain that this is a fairly easy win. At least get the extra golds out of this. Yeah, looking decent. We want to find a Captain's Wheel, get our sniper rifle attacking as fast as we can. Want to find that Chimera and drop some haste on it. Oh, we're gonna. Oh, that was so lucky. That was so lucky. I thought this was just like a guaranteed win, but the bag popped off, and then we barely recovered out of that. That was pretty lucky. Like, we got down to 1 tick away from death, and then we got the crit on the sniper rifle. Nice. All right, though. Let's take this upgrade on the crow's nest. We need to get up to 100% crit on the sniper rifle. So that looks good. Probably no reason to go to the large item shop at this point, though. Only have the one item we can really hit in the crow's nest. We'll just take all the extra damages on the sniper rifle. What's up now? Non-weapon items. Okay. Still some decent stuff we're looking for here. Silencer upgrade is good. I was actually thinking, what do we do how late can we run with a bronze silencer? Just so hard to upgrade once you get into the, day 9, day 10 with a bronze item. And so that feels pretty good seeing that turn up. The next set, nothing we're really interested in. All right, another Vanessa. I don't think we want to go for these rainbow potions. That's just a little too cutesy, right? We have the rainbow potion ammo flask, but yeah, that strikes me as a little too memey for my tastes. The potion is quite good if you want to go weather glass, since it has freeze and burn on it, but I don't think we're doing that. All right, so the OTKs on the OTKs. I think we can survive one of his. He just barely does 1,300 with a crit. He didn't even crit. You got him.
You should put it toward
Don't ask me to come out here and do those maths, right? It was like 1,200 plus 50. That gets you to like 1,300. So we had a we had a buffer. Fucking A. All right, though. More mountain passes. Gotta like it. Experience point. Bummer. What's up next? Chocolate bars or the Kev's Armory? A lot of times I like going to Kev's Armory just to try and find shield items, but I think we'll just go to the eating contest and take the guaranteed win. The guaranteed W here. Give me those 50 healths. Help us survive against the other Vanessas. Now here, I don't really want to fight the Shock Trooper. This is a fairly scary battle. We, a lot of times, don't kill fast enough to live through the big ray gun burst. So we'll just fight Joyful Jack out of this one. I'm pretty certain this is an easier win for us. He doesn't really do a ton of poison damage coming out of the poppy field, and so I think we should be okay.
Compost, I am not.
Got him. Gimme them monies. Poppy field turning up. Good stuff. So what do we see here? Nothing too interesting with the freeze and the crit. I almost always go for the gold skills anyways. Just such a higher impact thing. It just sucks so much to go to the weapon skills and get stuck with a bronze skill. But not a big hit with stuff in here. When you crit with an item, it gains crit. We don't need that. We should be pretty close to 100% on the sniper rifle at all the times. Not doing anything with poison. What about this next set? Fairly weak. Poison thing and poison thing on left to right. We'll take the arms dealer. It's still relevant, right? Not crazy to think that we don't get 200 or 300 health out of it before the end of the game, but not exactly what we were looking for. All right, so what do we do here? All decent stuff. Like, I'm okay to go to the small items. I'd still like to find Chimera at some point. We could put the 10 damage onto the sniper rifle that converts to 50 now, 100 later, or the relax is fine. But we got the money. Let's do a little bit of digging. All weapons on the first page. Don't want any of that. Seashell, catfish, don't really want. Bummers. Bummers. In this set, go to the docks, get that experience point. See what our next opponent has for us. Another Pygmalion.
I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
I don't know at what point we're supposed to start being scared of pig, right? When do the fixer-uppers turn up? There's the diamond fixer-upper. What's he doing? He's got a half-ass build though, so we might be okay. This crook isn't really doing anything, so we'll see how this carries out. Missed a crit on our first sniper shot. Got it with the second. I don't think he's going to be able to scale up his Ganjo fast enough to outdo our sniper rifle. Got him. Or scale up his flail with the weights. It's all a Ganjo. Okay. 7 victories. Gimme the trophies. Gimme the chests. Feels good, my dudes. Feels good. All right, so next day, hit up the medium items. Definitely want to try and find a captain's wheel if we can. Well, got an upgrade to sniper rifle. That's fucking sweet. It wasn't on my bingo card of things to hit this early, but that's pretty fucking awesome. Didn't find the didn't find the captain's wheel. This is a little interesting. Like I typically don't upgrade star charts. We don't keep them on board for that long, and we definitely don't want it in our end game build, right? We want it to be like sniper rifle out here, captain's wheel where the rocket boots are, some other item to the left of the rocket boots, either dock lines or Chimera, and then the star chart just sits in our bank for the docks. But we're kind of 2 items away from that popping off, right? We need both the better haste item and we need a slow item. And so we might be sitting on this star chart for a little bit. Like, it's not a particularly big upgrade though, just an extra 5% on each thing. I'm just going to hang on to the money. That's a pretty pricey upgrade for something I don't think we're going to be using for too much longer. Now with this, let's just go to the items. Maybe something will turn up. That star chart says pick me, bro. Get me on board. Get me to be a part of the fun out here. I'll probably regret it later. What you got for us? Just take the silver tier loot. Cooldown reduction would be good. Crit would be good. Damage would be good. Upgrade a bronze item. Not quite what we're looking for. And here, I don't know if we can beat the dragon. It's a battle that's kind of like too fresh for me to feel 100% certain about. Let's just YOLO it. I think it might be okay. Like you can't grind out the dragon forever, right? Because he just starts to stack up so much burn, but he doesn't heal anything back, and so we might be okay with this. Didn't crit our first shot, crit our second shot. As long as our next one pops off, we should be fine. Got pretty close there. It felt like an easy win, but he got that 300 burn on us, and we were on about 700 health, so we just had about 1 extra second in there. And then what's this? I was really just here for the experience points. I got to stop and read now. When you use a medium item, one of your burn items gains 15 burn for the fight. Okay. I think that only happens once, and it's just worded poorly. Keep that in mind. See if a burn thing turns up later. But here, what do we want? Got decent money now. Just take the skill upgrades, I guess. Both of these are pretty shitty. I think I'd rather have the 20 gold. Not too worried about flashy mechanic popping off, and then the arms dealer, definitely not worth it. Be like 20 gold for maybe 100 health over the course of the game. Bummer. They all can't be winners, I guess. Now here, let's go to non-weapon items. I would really like to get an upgrade before we get to the next battle. I'll take the silencer. It's not what I meant. I meant I want to get a thing on board, right? Chimera definitely fits. I'd rather have Chimera on board than this star chart. All right, so we're gonna go into battle 1 item short, but it is what it is. It could definitely be worse. And so here we have some options, right? Heal's not that spectacular with what we're doing. It's not to say that it isn't useful. If we don't crit, we can heal ourselves for 2,200. That's a very reasonable amount of health. But I think I'm just going to try and take the high roll off of the artist. See if we can't spike burn, spike poison, spike shield. Heal is fairly low value for us, and so poison definitely strong. Gives us a chance if we don't OTK our opponent with 1 shot to then get the kill with that second blast, or that poison blast coming through. That typically 280 poison landing on the opponent can kill him off pretty quick. So that looks good. We got our Chimera on board now, right? We got our sweet combo that we've been wanting to have all game. At the start of the fight, slow 3 items for 3 seconds. Ideally, we'll just slow the entirety of a Vanessa board. That should be decent. And then we're going to put the powder flask on board. It's not going to do anything, but if the opponent has slows, if the opponent has freezes, it gives them a target. As opposed, we'd rather them freeze the powder flask than something useful like the sniper rifle. And so, while it doesn't actively do anything to our board, it can potentially mess with some of the opposing debuffs.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen
What do we got? A bunch of shields. This is like a force field Vanessa. Interesting. Bunch of slows coming out the gates, and then the poison should be extra good here, right?
Next
Just
time,
get fucking
boys,
zinged.
let's
But right as he's out here trying to generate shields, the poison just ignores it, and so pretty sweet. Get fucking zinged, bro. Gotta like that. Gotta like that. Okay, so monster battle. I like it. Could definitely beat the old Enclave Revenant. That was pretty fun. I enjoyed that round. Get this big batch of slows coming out, and then just one shot, one kill. Aw, didn't land it on him, but we'll be more than fine here. Almost got that 420 poison on him. Didn't get the funny weed number. Bummer. So all right, let's hit up the non-weapon shop. I do like the temporary boost. Just puts that 250 damage onto the sniper rifle, which is a big deal. But we got a couple of items out here we're trying to flesh out. I would rather have Nesting Doll than the Chimera. Man, it's just so expensive though. It doesn't actually do anything if you don't have any like plus shield skills. Let's actually skip past that one. I would like to get another real item on board out here. I guess Vanessa Amulet counts, right? That gets our rifle up to 100% crit. And so our items are pretty decent at this point. Don't intend on keeping Vanessa Amulet forever. And then we would like to find... Captain's Wheel. And so the Blood Reef Captain here, pretty perfect round. The one-shot, one-kill guy was out here as well, but hitting the upgrade to Crow's Nest would be huge. Hitting the Captain's Wheel would be huge. The cooldown on Arsenal's not bad. The weapon thing applies to our boards, and so we can definitely get some good stuff out of this. Fucking pop snappers. Bullshit, this game's dumb. Bullshit, this game is dumb. We'll just go to the Vanessa skills. Looking for Oceanic Rush. The idea that we would have popping off with this build is the Oceanic Rush would be hitting the Captain's Wheel, where our Rocket Boots is, immediately getting the haste, and then with its 1 second activation at that point, it would be pretty quickly putting hastes onto the sniper rifle. But don't quite have that item yet. Don't want the reload thing. The first 5 times you use an aquatic item, each fight haste a weapon. It's not spectacular, but it does immediately put a 1 second haste onto our sniper rifle. I think that's a little better than rolling, right? We're kind of hurting for money here at this point. Now we got medium items, got to take it. I love me a wanted poster, but we can't afford it. Like, what can we even get up to here? We sell off this garbage. We could still make 6 gold if we need to. That gets us up to like 33. We could afford it, but it's getting fairly late in the game for this to be relevant as well. So let's get past that. Our item didn't turn up. That's a bummer.
You might try JJ's shop.
Might try JJ's shop. That's where all the good stuff is. So what do we want here? Not a huge fan of the Mysterious Portal, especially when we've already got enchants on our weapon. Let's just take the item, get a little bit of money. Make a sad noise. Be bummed out about it. Come out and battle Vanessa.
Out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobody.
Whew. What she got? Big batch of red out here. Lots of weapons coming at us. Pretty scary. Pretty scary. Can't OTK her either, and so we need one of those good rounds like before to where we fall a little bit and then the heal gets us. That was a bummer, man. The double barrel had heal, and so we saw his health fall. But I was like, I think he was 1 tick away from the poison when the double barrel gave him the heal. Bummer. Alright though, let's keep digging for this end game stuff. Nothing falls on the first page. Small item or Captain's Wheel doesn't turn up on the second. Go to the non-weapon items now. Look for the same stuff. Miss it on the first page. Do we ever want to just pick up something like Coral? It only costs 4 gold, I guess. It's just I envision if we ever are able to get rid of the Vanessa Amulet, we don't want to have just nothing, right? So that should be okay. With this stuff, we can beat all of these. I think we shoot fast enough to take down the Awakened District, and so we'll go for the big experience points out of this. Try and help us against the Vanessas of the future. Was this our last video to where we tried to meme it up and switch to the heart of the district and then just fucking failed? Yeah, they all can't be winners.
Pathetic.
What do we got? What's this thing? Your shield items get 25. Nah. Alright, Alright, now we'll take the loot on level up. And want cooldown reduction, crit, damage. What's this? Spin the wheel? Hit damage, okay. Alright. Spin the wheel of Yogg Saron, see what happens out here. Alright, we got something. What is it? Gold tier skill. Okay. When you crit with an item, it gains crit. Okay. Kind of useless, but whatever. So what's up next? I think I'm just going to take the damage at this point. Right? I'm just going to take the guaranteed good stuff. Get that huge-ass bonus onto our sniper rifle. And then just keep at it. Hopefully we can get these takedowns without the full build here. See what that Chimera is able to do. Quite good against Crook. The kind of... oh, we should definitely be strong here against Crook with Caltrops. The kind of Bane, the last time I played Pygmalion was... oh god, he fucking crit off his Regal Blade. I guess it was deadly. The 100% crit. Fuck me. I was gonna say, the kind of Bane to Pygmalion the last time I played him was... slows. And so I thought we might be out of the gates with that Chimera hitting at the beginning, but we weren't able to one-shot him with the sniper rifle. Fuck me. But we'll take the upgrade. Gonna upgrade Silencer here. We're at 100% crit, so not a ton of value in upgrading Crow's Nest. I guess we could have upgraded the... we could have looked to upgrade the Chimera as well, go up to the 4th target at the start of the battle, but I think this is fine. I'll go to Curio. Wouldn't mind finding more slow stuff. Found that here in the Barricade. A little bit of crit down here in the Eagle Talisman as well, and so not the worst round. Oh shit, we had that Sharpening Stone as well. I just completely forgot about it. Oh no, it didn't upgrade our Barricade. We needed to put our Barricade on board to get the bronze upgrade on it. It's definitely relevant. Shit. Well, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. We learned our lesson. If we lose, that's going to be why. Because we should have got an extra second to slow on our Chimera. So what do we got? We'll just buy what we can. Regen. I guess it made up for it on the next day here, getting an additional slow with the Bludgeon. Make sure the Talisman's going to land on the rifle. Good deal. Bludgeon onto Chimera. 3 items for 5 seconds at the start's not a bad deal. Alright. Let's continue on with our day. Barkham turns up. Might have sold our stuff a little too quick. That's okay. I think we'll just take the guaranteed stuff here in the damage boost. What's up after that? We can definitely beat Lord of the Wastes. Get as much EXPs if we can. Still need to find that Captain's Wheel, though. That's the kicker with our board here. Is the rocket boots kind of need to go. Got any medium shops? It turns up. I love the experience points, but man, we gotta just keep digging, right? It's got to turn up at some point. Nope. Nope. Coming out of this, always take the diamond tier skills. What do we got with these? Lefty Lucy. The first 10 times you use your leftmost item, haste an item for a second. And so it's not guaranteed to hit our sniper rifle. Realimen's the big one, right? We talk about this quite a lot with these single item kind of damage builds with sniper rifle or Lang Zang. What typically happen, or if you say want to imagine that last battle against Pig, is to where we don't have enough damage to get the OTK. So it's like we shoot them, they have 5k health, we hit for 4k. You need that second shot to finish off the deal. And Reel 'em in is what tends to make that super easy. So we get our first shot in, they fall under half, all our cooldowns get dropped by 50%, and then it gets much, much easier to finish off with a 3.5 second sniper rifle getting 2 seconds of haste off a 2-second rocket boost. And so very powerful pickup here. That should be the kind of thing that you need to help kick you from a 7-win build to a 10-win build, especially as we're in this space to where we still have that 1 point of prestige and haven't got a second enchant, to where we'll be fighting a lot of people that are going to have 2 and 3 and 4 enchants across the board. And so hopefully that plays out nicely here with that big win with the Reel 'em in. Alright, up against Vanessa. See if the Chimera combo can't carry us a little bit further. Just a big old batch of weapons out here. Alright, there's that first shot. Took him down to like 400 health, and so I was thinking the poison should be enough to finish off the battle. Got through that one pretty easily. Alright, 9 wins. Let's see what we can do. I'm feeling good. Are you feeling good? So let's see. Let's go to the medium shop. Just gonna keep digging for this captain's wheel. It's bound to turn up, right? Bound to turn up. Nope. Sure not. What up next? Medium items? Okay. Okay. There it is, finally. Okay. we can say we unlocked the full potential of the build. We got everything in here. Looking good. Don't need anything else out of this shop. Let's just take our experience points where we can get them. Sell off those rocket boots, put that extra haste on the captain's wheel, and just take the max experience points in case we lose the round. Okay, okay. Let's see what we can do. Hopefully the sniper rifle gets a shot off. This can be... I forget about these freeze rounds. I get so excited. I forget that you can just lose to these if you don't have a bunch of activatable items on board. But able to get the takedown here. Icicle is actually a pretty big pickup. If we get to the space to where we don't need the Vanessa amulet, then getting that big 6-second freeze at the start of the battle is quite good. I'm not going to give up on it just now. I'd prefer to make sure we get 100% crit. Oh, and then we get Obsidian. Now this, I am not 100% certain how this works. In the sense that I get that we can put Obsidian on the sniper rifle to get double damage. That's probably just the way to do it. But I haven't actually had this come up with Crow's Nest, to where you say make an Obsidian Crow's Nest and it becomes a weapon. And then with it being a weapon, it should cancel your lifesteal effects, right? But man, just double damage. We got to get just the high damage number, right? You got to get the big memery happening out here. As we look to do our last video with a beta. Get those 7k crits right out the gates. I dig it. I dig it.
This is health food. Literally.
Poison is boring. Give me the big crits. Alright, up against Vanessa.
My fight isn't with you.
It's got to be a one-shot, one-kill, right? That 7k crit. No way this Vanessa has 7k health, right? We got 6k. She got even more than us. Got to be an easy win, right? Doing dumb stuff with burn things. Rip. Oh, that feels good. That feels good. GG, well played. See ya, Vanessa. And so, good stuff. Good battle. Not a bad run. Very fun coming out, getting a nice little 10 winner at the end of the closed beta. And so glad that we could come out and do that. Very interested to see what comes out of the next patch. And so, I mean, this style of build has really just been the kind of story of this patch, right? It's so powerful with these single weapon Vanessa builds getting both a really high impact damage weapon that also has sustain, right? So you get the big damage because the Crow's Nest gives it crit. It gets that sustain with the lifesteal, and then the combo in with what I still think is the best Vanessa item this patch in the Captain's Wheel. It's just very, very, very easy to come in and build around this stuff, and it's not really limited by what weapon you have, right? As long as you're able to find a Crow's Nest, then you can pull off a lot of these shenanigans. And so, you know, I do, you know, mention the people on Reddit quite a bit and their complaints about double barrel and stuff. Like, I get it. I understand why it is frustrating to jump into a battle and just get killed in 2.5 seconds, and you don't get to see any of your items activate. But I don't think that that's the real pain point of this patch. That's just like saying, okay, I'm playing Magic. The red deck is the best deck in the format. I'm not going to play something that has heal in it, or I'm not going to play something that can't deal with a Jackal Pup or whatever. And so, like, it's just, you know, you do have to adapt to what the meta is doing. And if the meta is very heavy into double barrel, then maybe put some sustain in your build. Maybe get some chocolate bars, right, to really stack up your health. And so if we're going to call, like, Vanessa the strongest thing this patch, I don't think it is because of the double barrel stuff. I think it's because of this, the thing to where we get the Crow's Nest, the Captain's Wheel, the one weapon being single item builds like this with Sniper Rifle Langzang, the flagship style builds, or even if it's just a single weapon double barrel, they're all just super, super strong. And what you have to be doing as Vanessa to get carried into that space of going beyond 7 wins to 10 wins, those ammo builds really fall off hard once you get to the later days and you're not just immediately smoking somebody with the second shot out of a double barrel. But with this, I feel like we've covered off on this quite a bit. I feel like our build here came together quite nicely and then able to get a quick 10-win victory. I like how we kind of adapted our early game just to have more stuff on board, like kind of speculating on the sniper rifle, hanging onto those rocket boots, knowing what we needed to fit in with our build, and then knowing that we could get this sweet Chimera combo coming out and happening, right? This is probably the unsung hero of our build. Just such a huge, huge, huge bonus in this build, in this patch, so full of single item Vanessas to where the Chimera should be slowing their entire board, and things like Fixer Upper Pig, as to where Fixer Upper Pig is going to have like 2 large items on board and then like a megaphone or some shit, and so you get to slow his entire board as well. And so being able to slow them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds right out the gates is incredibly huge. And so I don't feel like our Chimera is getting, a ton of credit, but it was quite strong. And then it did have some minor combos with things like Crashing Waves, so it just immediately activated and then immediately hasted our sniper rifle, giving the sniper rifle a bit of time for the rocket boots or the captain's wheel to catch up. And so all in all, pretty good stuff. I dig it here. And so if you're an open beta player, if you haven't had a chance to play or if you're thinking about it, hopefully we gave you a nice little taste into the world of the Bazaar. Again, I dig it. We're going to be here forever. Who knows how long Crip and Northern Lion will be running around playing the old Bazaar. And so if they run back to the lands of Backpack Battles or Path of Exile or whatever, ideally we'll still be here, giving you those hot tips, just the tips and just the hot ones. And so, good stuff. I had fun with that. Hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So if everyone enjoyed the video, hope you learned a thing or two along the way. You had a good time watching. This is Busted Me. Thank you for being here.